The Lean Startup, an in-depth summary. Eric Ries, The Lean Startup, presents a revolutionary approach to business development that emphasizes agility, efficiency, and customer feedback. Ries introduces the Lean Startup methodology, which aims to help entrepreneurs build successful companies by focusing on creating and managing startups efficiently in an environment of extreme uncertainty. This methodology draws inspiration from lean manufacturing principles, which prioritize value creation, waste reduction, and continuous improvement. Definition and importance of startups. Ries defines a startup as a human institution designed to create a new product or service under conditions of extreme uncertainty. Unlike traditional businesses, startups face unpredictable market dynamics and must innovate rapidly to survive. The importance of startups lies in their potential to disrupt industries, create jobs, and drive economic growth. They are not limited by their size or the sector they operate in. Rather, their defining feature is the ambition to create something novel and valuable despite the high level of risk involved. Core principles of the Lean Startup. The Lean Startup methodology is built on several core principles that guide entrepreneurs in creating sustainable and scalable businesses. These principles include the build, measure, learn feedback loop, validated learning, and the development of a minimum viable product, MVP. Build, measure, learn feedback loop. At the heart of the Lean Startup methodology is the build, measure, learn feedback loop. This iterative process emphasizes rapid experimentation and customer feedback to guide product development. Entrepreneurs start by building a basic version of their product, MVP, then measure how customers respond to it, and learn from the feedback to make informed decisions on what to improve, iterate, or pivot. Build. The first step is to transform ideas into products. Rather than creating a fully featured product, startups should develop an MVP, which includes only the most essential features needed to test hypotheses. Measure. Once the MVP is launched, startups must measure its performance. This involves collecting data on customer interactions and feedback to understand how well the product meets their needs. Learn. The final step is to analyze the data and learn from it. This learning process helps entrepreneurs determine whether to pivot, make a fundamental change to the product or strategy, or persevere, continue on the current path with iterative improvements. Validated learning. Validated learning is the process of demonstrating empirically that a team has discovered valuable truths about a startup's present and future business prospects. Unlike traditional product development, which often relies on lengthy planning and execution phases, validated learning focuses on learning through rapid experimentation and iteration. Each experiment provides actionable insights that either confirm or refute the startup's hypotheses. Minimum viable product, MVP. An MVP is the simplest version of a product that can be released to customers to test a business hypothesis. The MVP allows startups to start the learning process as quickly as possible with minimal effort. The goal is to gather maximum validated learning with the least amount of effort. By focusing on core features, startups can test their assumptions and gather critical feedback without over-investing in features that may not be needed. Techniques for testing and measuring progress. The Lean Startup methodology advocates for a variety of techniques to test hypotheses and measure progress effectively. These techniques include split testing, also known as A/B testing. This involves comparing two versions of a product to see which performs better. Cohort analysis. This technique tracks the behavior of a group of users over time, allowing startups to understand how changes impact user engagement and retention. Actionable metrics versus vanity metrics. Actionable metrics are data points that provide insights into the actions needed to improve the business, such as customer acquisition costs or lifetime value. Vanity metrics, like total user counts or page views, might look good on paper but don't offer actionable insights. Strategies for pivoting and persevering. One of the critical decisions a startup must make is whether to pivot or persevere. A pivot involves making a significant change to the product or business model based on validated learning. Persevering means continuing with the current strategy and making iterative improvements. Key strategies include zoom-in pivot. Focus on a single feature of the product that is proving to be more valuable than the full product. Zoom-out pivot. Broaden the product to include more features or a more comprehensive solution. Customer segment pivot. Change the target customer segment to a different group that may value the product more. Customer need pivot. Alter the product to solve a different problem that has been identified through customer feedback. Detailed explanation of actionable metrics versus vanity metrics. Actionable metrics are the cornerstone of effective decision-making in the lean startup approach. These metrics provide meaningful insights that can guide strategic actions. For instance, customer retention rates, cost per acquisition, and lifetime value of a customer are actionable metrics that help startups understand and improve their business model. Vanity metrics, on the other hand, are often superficial data points that can give a false sense of success. Metrics such as total downloads, registered users, or website visits may look impressive but do not necessarily correlate with the underlying health of the startup. They can lead to misguided decisions if not accompanied by deeper analysis. Case studies and examples. Rise provides numerous case studies and examples to illustrate the principles of the lean startup methodology. One notable example is Dropbox, which used an MVP in the form of a simple video demonstrating their product concept. This approach allowed them to gauge interest and gather feedback before investing heavily in product development. Another example is IMVU, a startup Rise co-founded. They employed continuous deployment and rapid experimentation to iterate on their product, learning quickly from customer interactions and making necessary pivots to achieve product-market fit. Organizational structures that support lean startup practices. To fully embrace the lean startup methodology, organizations need to adopt structures that promote flexibility, experimentation, and rapid learning. This includes cross-functional teams. Teams composed of members from different disciplines, engineering, design, marketing, to ensure diverse perspectives and faster problem-solving. Flat hierarchies. Reducing layers of management to speed up decision-making and encourage innovation. Innovation accounting. Creating new metrics and accounting practices that measure progress and success in the context of innovation and experimentation. Common challenges and solutions in implementing lean startup. Implementing the lean startup methodology is not without its challenges. Common obstacles include cultural resistance. Employees accustomed to traditional methods may resist the shift to a more experimental and iterative approach. Solution: educate the team about the benefits of lean startup and provide training on new practices. Resource constraints. Limited resources can hinder the ability to conduct experiments and iterate rapidly. Solution: focus on creating the most impactful experiments and leverage MVPs to minimize costs. Misinterpreting metrics. Relying on vanity metrics instead of actionable metrics can lead to misguided decisions. Solution: establish clear criteria for actionable metrics and train the team to use them effectively. Long-term benefits and scalability of the lean startup approach. The lean startup approach offers significant long-term benefits and scalability. By focusing on validated learning, startups can build products that truly meet customer needs, reducing the risk of failure. The methodology also promotes a culture of continuous improvement and innovation, which is essential for long-term success. As startups grow, the principles of lean startup can scale with them, ensuring they remain agile and responsive to market changes. Concluding thoughts and reflections by Eric Ries. In conclusion, Eric Ries reflects on the transformative power of the lean startup methodology. He emphasizes that the principles outlined in the book are not just for startups, but can be applied to any organization looking to innovate and grow. By adopting a mindset of continuous experimentation, validated learning, and customer-centric development, businesses can navigate uncertainty and achieve sustainable success. Rise encourages entrepreneurs and business leaders to embrace these principles and foster a culture of innovation that can adapt and thrive in an ever-changing world. The Lean Startup offers a comprehensive guide to building successful startups through a systematic and scientific approach. Its core principles and practical techniques provide a roadmap for entrepreneurs to create value, minimize waste, and achieve long-term success in a highly uncertain environment.